Listen closely, because this cuts through every shiny myth you've been fed. The truth stares right at you. Startups without websites exist. But here's the real soul of it. Can they truly succeed? Or are they just hiding from the brutal fire they need to walk through? Imagine waking up every day with a gnawing itch, a pit deep in the chest that screams, "Is this enough? Am I really connecting? Am I making the impact I'm meant to make?" That itch? It's the absence of a real front door, the absence of a website. Not just a digital address, but a stage, a battlefield, a representation of everything that the world should know about you. And right now, your startup might be invisible, or worse, misunderstood. Founders, investors, leaders. This isn't just another yes or no question. This is the heartbeat of your entire existence as a creator. Because the world doesn't owe you discovery or goodwill. It offers distractions, noise, endless sameness, and if you don't stake a clear claim, you won't survive. No matter how brilliant your idea, without that first place to meet the world on your terms, you're surrendering your power. Every moment you delay, every hesitation, is a step deeper into that vast, suffocating swamp of anonymity where dreams choke quietly. Think about your customer, your investor, your partner scrolling endlessly. What pulls their eyes? What plants a seed of trust in milliseconds? It's a website. Not just some clunky URL or a hastily thrown together page, but a living, breathing extension of your mission. A spearhead. It's the place where you stop gimmicks and tell a story so raw, so real, that it's impossible to ignore. When there's no website, you basically whisper in a storm. You might as well be invisible. And in a world racing at lightning speed, invisibility kills. Yes, there's this seductive idea that social media or word of mouth might be enough. That maybe, just maybe, you can exist as a ghost, a rumor, a secret too cool for the digital mainstream. But let's be brutally honest. No founder built an empire in whispers. The raw truth? Platforms you don't control are cages. Today's algorithm is tomorrow's silence. Without your own corner of the internet, the website, you are a puppet in someone else's show. That's no freedom. That's a trap disguised as opportunity. But here's where it gets real. The website isn't about vanity or polish. It's not about having a slick homepage full of buzzwords or useless jargon. It's about freedom. Your freedom to design your narrative, to tear down illusions, to rise from the ashes of old systems, and scream to the world who you are. It's your manifesto in a form everyone can see and feel. It's where trust is built, where connection turns into commitment, where a curious glance becomes a lifetime partnership. Every second without a website is a second lost in a sea of uniformity. The marketplace is not kind, it's brutal and fast. What sets you apart isn't just your product or your pitch, it's the visceral way you make people feel. And that starts the moment someone lands on your site. It's the pulse they catch in your words, your energy, your clarity that forces them to lean in instead of scrolling away. That's the edge every startup needs to survive. And without that edge, you're just another face in a faceless crowd, suffocating under sameness. Think about the moments when fear creeps in. The fears of being judged, misunderstood, or overlooked. The fear that says, "What if I'm not ready? What if I fail?" That fear isn't your enemy, it's your signal. The absence of a website amplifies it, screams it louder. But here's a secret. Boldness doesn't mean perfect. It means starting on your terms, owning your imperfect story, and inviting the world in to witness your evolution. Every pixel, every word, every image is a step into your sovereignty. The website is where you stop borrowing permission and start giving yourself it, unequivocally. For founders ready to break free from the chains of fear and invisibility, a website is not just a tool, it's an act of rebellion. It's saying no to the system that wants to swallow you whole, to the rules made by others who can't see your fire. Because this isn't about fitting in, it's about standing out. About making the first move in a game where sitting still means falling behind. Sites aren't just digital files, they're beacons for alignment, attracting the collaborators, investors, and customers who recognize your rare energy and will ride the wave with you. It's also the ultimate weapon against the isolation so many disruptors feel. When there's no website, your brilliance is locked inside, isolated, yearning for connection, but trapped in silence. But when you craft your space online with intention and soul, you're broadcasting your signal loud and clear to those few who matter, the ones who burn as you do, who reject average, who see what nobody else does. This connection is no accident. It's the architecture of transformation. It's the foundation for a collective that transcends borders and limitations. Investors and visionaries listening right now, imagine the power of backing a startup that understands this truth fully, that owns their space and narrative from the start. They aren't chasing trends or seeking validation from a noisy crowd. They're building legacies. Without a website, you risk backing shadows, ideas locked in silence. But with it, you get a player who's serious, battle-tested in owning their presence and dialogue. The website becomes a lens into their soul, a place where you can witness their clarity, resilience, and vision before a handshake is made. So, what needs to happen right now? 1. Zero excuses. The time to think, "We can do it later," is over. Every second lost is opportunity stolen by competitors who dared to show up raw and real. 2. Cut the complexity. This is not about perfection or building a cathedral overnight. It's about starting simple and authentic. Let the world see the raw edges, the hustle, the passion, the mission. That's where true connection breathes. 3. Make it a living, breathing space. Your website isn't a static billboard. It's a launching pad for continuous dialogue, evolution, and impact. Keep it pulse-driven, responsive to your journey and your audience. Finally, remember this. In the fight for relevance and survival, your website is the first battle. Win this, and other challenges become manageable. Lose it, or ignore it, and you surrender before the war even begins. The truth no one likes to say is that your startup can survive a few months without a website, but without it, it's starving. Starving for trust. Starving for clarity. Starving for a chance to turn a glance into a believer, a skeptic into a champion. This is not about technology. It's about liberation. It's about claiming your sovereign space in a fractured world that prefers conformity, distractions, and comfort zones. The power lies in understanding that a website is your vessel of freedom, the place where misaligned brilliance becomes aligned power, where loneliness turns into alliance, where silence turns into an irresistible call to action. This is the difference between floating as a ghost and roaring as a force. Founders, investors, leaders, don't just build a startup. Build a home for your vision, a fortress for your mission, a magnet for your tribe. The world isn't waiting politely. It's noisy, chaotic, and ruthless. Step boldly into the world with your own light. Your website is that light. Without it, you wander in shadows. With it, you reshape realities. This is the rallying cry for those who dare not settle, for those whose fire refuses to be buried. Your website isn't optional. It's inevitable. And in this moment, no pretending, no half measures. The website is your declaration, your scream into the void that you're here, unapologetically, ready to build what's next, ready to be found by those who see the rare blaze inside you. This is how startups don't just survive, they become legends. Don't wait for the world to light the way. Build your own fire. Your website is that spark. Ignite it now.